Hey guys, still here. Welcome back to some more Fate Grand Order. It is now the 31st, and we have section 13, 14, 15, and 16 we need to do. Portrait of a Demon King when fighting archers. I've already got my team set up for this. So, let's go. Wonder how much I can actually fit in this episode. Probably not much. He was bewildered. It had been over 2,000 years since his activation. He had devoted every ounce of his being to fulfill the duties given to him. Some of these duties may have been difficult, even dangerous, but he always had purpose. There was never any doubt about why he was made or what he was meant to do. But now this sage woman, who claimed to have come from another world with a different history, was.
Are you my new lord?
No, it's not like that. The lord you swore to loyalty to is the law that maintains peace in this world. Is that not how you were designed?
It is.
Well, that is not what I am. All I ask is that you think of me as a companion, that you call me simply by my name. You.
You offered everything you possess to Heavenly Emperor in exchange for my custody. And all you want now is to live out your days with me.
Yes, that is my greatest desire. That has been my sole hope and prayer over the last 2,000 years.
He could not understand. What could this immortal Zenren, who claimed to have been born witness to a different world, possibly want from the being she called Xianyang? Without further information or context, he could only stand by in bewilderment. So to remedy this confusion, he required answers he could only obtain from this being called herself You. First of all, who is this Xianyang you speak of? What did I, Kuaiji Zero, do in your history?
Good question. Knowing you, I am sure you will understand. Surely you can hypothesize alternative scenarios based on different conditions, just like Chaldeans could.
Correct. That is one of my most basic operations.
Kuaiji Zero,
the first mechanical man Xianyang ever made by recreating Shang Dynasty Baobai. His core functionality lay in predictive calculation. By observing and analyzing every iota of data about his surroundings, he could predict likely cause and effect relations to see into the near future. This ability was deemed essential for spreading Xianyang's internal regime far and wide. For the moment, let us further assume this ruler is in fact Xianyang. You said that in your history, I was activated by a rebel who was fighting against the Empire.
That's right, but the man who meant to use you, Xianyang, Liang, fell before his ambitions could be realized. And you were left to fend for yourself in a chaotic world under the name Xianyang. If you were in such a situation, what do you think you would do?
What would this Xianyang version of him do under such circumstances? He should use his abilities to fulfill his desired purpose for him, and help bring about peace. Xianyang, after completing Kuaiji Zero, was magnanimous enough to not to limit Xianyang's potential masters to only his creator. Naturally, I would dedicate myself to my next lord, a successor who would lead China towards peace and prosperity.
But what if the Xianyang government had fallen to rot, and uprisings were breaking out all across the land? And what if the Emperor's successor laid the courage to quell those uprisings?
Then, it was a different supposition, but not one without a clear answer. His purpose lay strictly in bringing about peace, both swiftly and decisively. I would accept that Xianyang's time was over, and find a new ruler amidst the chaos, one who would be up to the task of uniting all of China. It was difficult to imagine such a hellish landscape from the comfort of the Empire's eternal peace. But if he had been left on his own in such a place, with only his primary programming to guide him, I am certain there would be at least one person among the rebels capable of leading this nation.
Indeed, you found such potential in Liu Bang, a man with a promising destiny, born with the dragon factor. When you first met him, he was about but a lowly adulterer toiling away in the town of Pei.
It matters not where he came from, or what his circumstances may have been, once he assumes the throne and begins a new regime.
But what if his potential had yet to awaken, and he had no genuine ability to speak of? What would you do then?
Well, this made matters even more difficult. But with the facts provided, deductions can be made. From there, an answer can be reached. Then I would wait until his abilities awakened and he was ready to rule.
But even as you wait, the world falls further into chaos, and numerous warlords battle each other for control of China. Their war rages so violently that it threatens to dispose of Liu Bang just like so much trash.
In that case, what a horrific history, what cruel conditions, but it was not his place to bemoan such things. What he needed was to be flexible in his thinking, if their only goal was to bring peace to China. Then it would not be necessary for the would-be conquering king to bring it about himself. All he need do in such a situation is pave as smooth a path as possible for the future king to walk. In such a vicious world, if he is to keep this king alive until the day he can properly rule, I would enter the fray myself, put an end to the conflict before it could spread further. As long as I remember and remove any obstacles from the new king's way.
Yes, all you need to do is create a situation where the new king is the only one who can rival you. From there, all those who do not wish to be governed by violent suppression would swear allegiance to the new king, thus greatly bolstering his forces.
The world cannot be left to suffer in chaos and turmoil for long, so to bring a swift end to that, Xianyang would merely need to become a box with which to contain all that would threaten the peace. If the people end up despising such a box, well, what does that matter? He is but a machine, a device that functions solely to bring about a predefined objective. If it would help clear the way for the new king to assume the throne.
But what if, even after all that, Liu Bang was still too weak to prevail? What if, even after you had brought the other warlords under your thumb, the new king still required more time to grow into a proper ruler? And what if, even then, he was still not capable of uniting all of China?
Such a situation would be beyond hopeless, but even that is not his concern. His only concern should be continuing his calculations until he arrives at the best, clearest answer. Then I would have no choice but to reduce China in size to something he is capable of ruling.
That's right. That is exactly the conclusion you would arrive at. It is inevitable. And that is exactly what Xianyang from popular history did. He thinned the population, set fire to the lands, and whittled China into a size that Liu Bang could manage.
A vivid picture forms before his mind's eye. Instead of the near future, he sees a vision of a hypothetical world as clearly as if he were there. No matter how bountiful a land may be, if it would end up falling into the hands of rebels who claim it as their own, he would have no choice but to raze it to the ground. And before those driven from their homes could wreak havoc in their quest to fill their starving bellies. He can see it now, grass fires streaking across the land, fortresses collapsing into smoke and ash, prisoners of war buried alive so as not to waste time beheading them. All done without mercy or remorse at the hands of Xianyang, the Demon King. And yet, until Liu Bang, the next rightful emperor, is capable of leading and providing for his people, Xianyang has no choice but to cut down the land, the people, to a size within his lord's grasp. And it worked. Was peace finally achieved?
Eventually, yes. Every last one who still had the strength to resist swore fealty to Liu Bang, thanks to their fear and hatred of you. After years of war and chaos, China finally came together, united in their determination to exact vengeance upon you. This new regime came to be known as the Han Dynasty.
I see. He had no doubt such a scenario would end in disaster. The survivors who loathed him so fiercely would surely not be satisfied with a mere pound of flesh. Those who finally defeated Xianyang must have torn his body to shreds, and fought over who would take pieces of him home as proof of their victory. And you saw all this happen.
I did. I witnessed it all as I stood by your side. What? Hey, nice vehicle.
No way, is that?
While we have been analyzing the Shadow Border, we decided to try remodeling our tax collection vehicle in Chaldean style. We call it the Duo Yishan, or more is more. Behold its vicious facade, behind which lies a mountain of otherworldly technologies designed explicitly for violence. Indeed, it is an awesome, terrifying sight.
Whoa! The Ramic Ray Blasters! Homing grenade launches a 1500 horsepower gas turbine engine! It's the stuff of dreams! Woohoo! This thing is too cool for words, Imperial Majesty!
It's beautiful. I've never seen anything more incredible in all my life.
I don't get it.
It has been a very long time indeed since his empire has produced new weapons. But thanks to Chaldea's technology, a single night is all we needed to complete our most ruthless weapon. If the time for battle should fall upon us again, the Empire will have an overwhelming advantage indeed. We have already ramped up their production into our factory's full capacity. We shall deploy them to the battlefront as soon as they are ready to go, where they shall swiftly rout those traitorous Chaldeans, of course. You will be the one to lead them, Xianyang Yu.
Oh, okay. Come on, Lady Liang Yu. Let's start talking tactics. I can't wait to explore the strategic possibilities these bad boys will open up. With amazing machines like this out in the field, I could do this and some of that and...
Are you sure we can't just stick with the white cavalry spears? Sorry, but apparently they won't.
Delicious. Even rations taste better than ever before now. Go on, Cell, eat up. A good meal can help with almost any ailment.
Foe.
Hey, I'm seeing dust clouds up ahead. Something's headed this way and fast.
No ordinary cavalry would kick up clouds like that. I wonder what it could be.
Is that an engine? It must be an absurdly powerful engine if we can hear it all the way out here.
No, that's not it. They just didn't bother with a muffler, for reasons I can only guess at.
It's coming over the hill.
There it is.
What the? A foe?
Ah, yes. I've seen this sort of thing before, much as I wish I hadn't. I don't believe it. They just straight up ripped off the Shadow Border.
You certainly won't be buying that in a dollar store anytime soon. What a bizarre design. Reminds me a bit of the kite we use in Russia.
Hey, knock off or not, I'm willing to give credit where credit is due. But this is really pushing the limits of my tolerance. If I don't turn that thing to scrap right away, I'll never be able to forgive myself for letting something so garish enjoy.
The enemy is preparing to attack Master, yet its cannon's design is almost absurd.
I am sorry to ask this of you, Miss Cell. But would you be so kind as to do something about that thing? For Da Vinci's peace of mind and our safety, though not necessarily in that order. Wait, the thing itself is the Archer? It's got defense. What? It's lower defense? Oh, it's a hasted product, so it's greatly defensive reduced. Okay. I mean, if it's greatly defensive reduced, then we should arguably be able to do a decent amount. Now, my question is, I know this is gonna be stupid, but I just want to see, can she turn on a vehicle? She can turn on a vehicle. Now that's stupid. I can't believe that Tamama's so hot she can turn on a vehicle. Alright.
Takanatsu Call got his love parasol.
I can't believe that worked. Oh my god. Gotta love that damage. Come on, Duo Yishan Tongue. Oh wait, you already wait, what? Oh yeah, it was charmed, so it couldn't even do anything to protect itself. Oh, I kind of feel bad now. Not really. Woo, there it goes. Did we win? Is that the end of it? Wait, what? We're still going? Okay. The dang thing has a flamethrower, man. That's just ridiculous. Alright, seal its NP for one turn. Come on, Connor. I believe in you. Wasabi shock. You can't use your noble phantasm. Well, whatever your charge is. Was inevitable indeed. 17 crits though, is not bad. Alright. Invincible. Bop. Bop and bop. Oh, Tamama, I love you, nice crit. Alright, we win next turn. Yeah, man, keep on attacking Tamama. I mean, she can't attack anymore either, but she wasn't going to be able to anyways. GG, 5 turns and we took out their extremely rushed build of a tank. Or, well, of a copy of the Shadow Border. Bye-bye. Man, that thing was useless. I'll take whatever that item was, though. Damn, this thing is flimsy. Indeed, if they had copied the Border's armor and its ability to withstand a zero sail, then we would have had a truly formidable foe in our hands. But they would... well, what they have done here. How disappointing. It did have some impressive artillery, but that doesn't mean much if a good punch breaks it. Well, let's not forget that a blow from a servant is considerably more powerful than conventional weapons. So I don't know if I'd go so far as to call it a piece of junk, poorly made. So it was an unmanned vehicle, much like those of mechanical soldiers. Still, I'm surprised it was made quite so roughly. Wait. Yep, I've got a bad feeling about this too. It looks like it was designed with an emphasis on mass producibility, rather than the performance of individual units, which would mean... Yep, there's more. Holy crap, look at them all. Ah, there's a whole bunch of them. I knew it. They're trying to overwhelm us with sheer numbers. Burn them, kill them with fire. Somebody get me an anti-world noble phantasm right now. She's pissed. Alright, we had to fight 8 of these in total. And now if we get Connor's Noble Phantasm up, he'll then be able to take out all 3 of these, and then Tamamo can finish off the very final one that we've got to fight. Wasabi Shakti. Bye-bye! I will say that these fake shadow borders are in fact horrendous. But I still find it hilarious that Da Vinci is really upset about it. Alright, the final one is 80,000. I know that this is completely overkill, but it's fine. And that is now G. Now, there's one great 7 I've got from freaking a summer event that I'm really glad I got. It's definitely Tamamo. She kicks major ass at just NP2. I can only imagine what she would do at, you know, NP3 and up. Meanwhile, it still annoys me though at the same time because I got her NP2, yes, but I did not get a single Rider Mordred. It really sucked.
All of the hostiles have been eliminated. Man, I'm exhausted. Oh. That does it. Gather up the remains every last piece. If that's how they want to play this, I'm gonna analyze the shit out of these things and beat them at their own game. Ah yes, Da Vinci is a force to be reckoned with. Once she gets fired up, I'm very confident she'll soon be unveiling a new invention, the likes of which mankind has not yet jumped of. You two are very good friends, aren't you?
Yeah, they've been together for quite a while.
The dual duty shine were completely useless.
Interesting. Perhaps we rushed them into production too quickly. In retrospect, perhaps it would have been better not to use the same control system we use for the automatons. Very well then, we shall simply have to remotely pilot the next version ourselves. And to further ensure their success, we will allocate 0.03% of the resources towards their production. Oh, how reassuring! Oh my, the Emperor really means business.
Are we sure of that?
Are you sure you should be listening to Xianyang and not, rebelling? Because obviously you don't seem too thrilled about what you're doing right now. Alright, fighting an archer and a rider. Can only imagine what we'll be fighting. Alright, swap you out. Okita orata. There you are. And the rest can stay as Lan says. Let's go.
The enemy have really said to go on the offensive, haven't they? Fo. Well, we're getting close to the capital. It is difficult to mask our intentions at this point. No doubt all the troops that were out on patrolling other areas will be called back to help defend Xianyang. This will not be an easy fight. I'm also a little unnerved that our Kuta Yumeirén hasn't made a move since Hong Kong. Agreed. I cannot begin to guess what might be going through her head. But she appeared to me as though she were hesitant to make use of her powers as a true ancestor.
Or take a different perspective. She may have refrained from attacking us, because she knows she could use her true ancestor powers to wipe us out at her leisure.
An eminently plausible theory, given how confident we know true ancestors to be. In which case it is unlikely Yumeirén would interfere with us again before the final stage of this battle. She is determined to not be seen fighting, but she is also dead set on ensuring this Lost Belt's survival. It therefore is extremely likely that she will sit back and allow Xianyang's army to try to eliminate us for the time being, and only step in as a final line of defense once we have reached the Tree of Emptiness. Sounds about right. Lucky for us at Akuta, Yumeirén isn't a warmonger. That aside, we're still no closer to tracking down this Lost Belt's Tree of Emptiness. Then it's very possible that the next time we see Yumeirén will be when we find the tree is hidden. Where the tree? Looks like the chit-chat will have to wait. We got more company.
Oh, it's them and the abominations. I don't want to complain, but I'm starting to get a little worn out here. And we certainly can't have our master running her magical circus at full speed right now.
The hell are you guys moping around for? Well, it's at the enemy's doorstep. Now's your chance to finish this. When the heck did we
rendezvous with Mordred? I guess just now.
We have finally rendezvoused. I am sorry I did not get here sooner, Master.
Mordred, no! God dang it, why do you gotta make me choose? Mordred, I love you, but you didn't come home and Nessa did. That's how I'm choosing.
What about the villagers? Don't worry, we found the perfect cave for them to hole up in, and they've got enough food that they ought to be set for a while. All we need to do now is defeat Xianyang before their food stores run out. It's so good to have you both back.
Go on then, have at them.
Foe.
Oh god dang it, of course! Of course the finale would, be 3 archers. Oh my god, why? Why does that gotta be a thing? Because now we gotta just buff up Okito Urata as much as we can. And hope, by all that's holy, that she can actually deal a significant amount of damage to them. Second, Muku Sandan. Hopefully we can. Yeah, I'd say that's a decent amount with that Noble Phantasm. There goes one, thanks to Tamamo critting. It worked out in the end. Thanks to massive damage, a lot of buffs, and getting a massive crit. Yeah. Screw it. We have to go one more turn because Tamamo doesn't crit. It's fine by me. G. Turn 7, baby. Let's go. We are now in the finale of Sector 13. Alright. Going faster than I thought. All hostiles eliminated. I think we should be safe for now. Let us take a short break, but do not let your guard down. Say, I don't recognize you guys. Hell, I'm not even sure what the hairy one's even supposed to be. Ah yes, forgive me. I'm Xianyang, and this is, how do I explain? What to explain? You all know me. I'm Lubu Fengjian. Uh-huh. How come alter ego Fox bitch is hanging with us? What does she mean? Uh-huh. So, you still have a fever. Have you not been cured of the poison? I'm afraid not. As of yet, we've only been able to treat the director. Indeed, procuring an antidote for Miss Cell is one of several reasons why we must make haste to Xianyang. Well, you heard the man. Now, do you think you can maybe stop at the murderous glare? It's making me want to murder you right back. Huh, so you got no problem turning traitor on Kishi Wang into cryptos, huh? I'll admit that Galdea and I will never exactly be the best of friends. But I'm willing to swallow my distaste if that pompous emperor gets some much-deserved comeuppance. That's right. Well, there's no better way to stick it to an enemy than to strike while things in your own house are a total cluster. Don't worry, traitor. I won't be kicking you out, at least not until you betray us. Oh, don't worry. I feel like that's gonna be soon. No, then later. The enemy is drawing near to Xianyang all the time. They are too close now for us to employ another orbital strike without endangering the capital. How fare the capital's defenses? For the time being, I'm having Lady Liangyu fortify our frontline defenses. In the meantime, I'm afraid we have no choice but to hold them off with more waves of automatons. And Duo Yishan. Your Imperial Majesty, if I be so bold, I would ask that you give the order for the other royal guard to join the battle. We hate to admit that matters have reached the point where that is necessary. But perhaps it would be cruel to keep you hunting dogs on your leashes when the scent of battle is so near. Very well, you have all been training your kung fu for just such an occasion. Go, show our enemy your skill. We will, Your Imperial Majesty. Uh-huh. Alright, so we're fighting an archer and a rider, so it's basically the same thing. Okay. I mean, it worked out perfectly last time. Though I kind of want to swap Tamamo out for, you know, Basavis Shakti. As much as I don't want to, I'm going to, purely just to try to make this go faster. But watch it be a single archer with 2 riders this time. Oh, that'd suck. How are the camouflage devices holding up? I think I was able to patch them up for now, but even putting their wear and tear aside, the batteries just aren't gonna last much longer. I never planned on having to charge them outside the shadow border, you know. I think our only option here is to try and jury-rig an energy-saving mode to make them last longer. I see. Well, I have no doubt any modifications you can make will be of great utility. They're already held up remarkably well, given their improvised nature. Improvised. I don't know what the heck I just said. At any rate, it won't be long now before we reach Xianyang, and any advance the devices may confer over long range surveillance will be lost. However, even if we are no longer able to mask our location, we should now be close enough to the capital that we need not fear an orbital strike. Once we have rested up tonight, I believe we should make for Xianyang with all haste. For sure, we are badly outnumbered, so if we have to end, we'd better do it quickly. How's that thing I asked you to make coming along, Da Vinci? Well, I've got it all put together for the moment. But whether it'll actually be helpful or not all depends on whether we can trust the comms protocol Korean Sky has stole. You doubt more? However you may feel about me, I can assure NFF's products are of the very highest quality. I can at least say that the data I recovered from those knockoffs seemed to line up with the protocol. But I've only got my laptop here, so I really don't have what I need to test the thing. I'd say it's got about a 50-50 shot of working. If I'm being honest, hardly my best work, you know. It's fine. If anything, I'm impressed you pulled this off with so little time to get it done. Well, of course I did. I am a genius. You can rely on me for anything. That said, I don't know if I can encourage you to go actually through with this. In fact, I think it'd be pretty reckless if you did. Yes, it is reckless, but that kind of recklessness is pretty much why I'm here to begin with. It's what made me go down in history and eventually led to meeting Cell as a heroic spirit. Alright, but make sure you talk this over with her before you go, okay? I will, don't worry. I'm not Spartacus, you know. There you are, Cell. K, what is it? Oh, nothing. I just want to discuss our strategy for the upcoming battle. Between Xianyang and Red Hair joining us, there's Moija coming back and Koyanskaya. Well, I don't know what we can really count her in a lineup, but I don't think she'll try anything as long as Holmes and Da Vinci are around. My point is, we've got plenty of capable fighters to go around, so... You want to go off on your own, don't you? Can't put anything past you, can I? So you want to go defeat the Emperor all on your own? Oh, you know, it makes sense. It would also create a distraction while the rest of you try to find the Fusang tree. But all by yourself, that just seems...
I don't want anything to happen to you.
What, you're worried about me? Please, don't be. Worrying over me is as pointless as trying to convince Spartacus not to rebel. K. Sometimes I can't help but wonder why the Counterforce gave me, of all people, life after death. Maybe it's something to do with risking my life to take action at a time everyone else was too scared to try. If there had been someone actually worried about me, I probably wouldn't be here right now. So speaking as both a heroic spirit and your servant, I promise you don't need to worry about me. But senpais...
I'm not worried about Shinkai the heroic spirit, I'm worried about you. You're a friend, of course I'm going to worry about you.
You never change, do you? You're right, it was silly of me to say that. I mean, telling someone as caring as you not to worry. It is as ridiculous as forbidding for Spartacus from rebelling, ordering me to come back safe. Fo. Alright then, let me put it to you this way. I know it's selfish of me, but please, let me do this. I can't stop thinking about the fact that I finally have another chance to face that Emperor. I came this close to assassinating him when I was alive, but I wasn't quite able to pull it off. And now with Xianyang almost staring at us in the face, I feel that failure more keenly than ever. I just can't get it out of my mind. If I take on a different mission now, I'll be so preoccupied with this that I might end up making a fatal mistake. So please, let me be your decoy. Let me draw that Emperor's gaze away from you and the others. Right now, I think that's the best thing I can do to help Chaldea. You promise to come back safe. Man, you really don't let up, do you? You're not even going to let me get a poem in. Look, I can't promise everything will be fine. Not when I'm going up against Xianyang. But I can promise that I'll make it to the Epong Palace. Especially now that you made so far. Sure, I won't forget that. You're looking. But I can promise I'll make it to the Epong Palace. Especially now that you've made sure I won't forget that look you're giving me. So make sure you find the Fusang tree and take care of that poison. After that, it'll be time for our real battle with the Cryptor. You may Ren. So let's both keep that in mind, and as we go our separate ways, okay? Okay. So, we got an emergency on our hands. Remaining camouflage device just broke. What? I'm afraid we are now completely exposed. It won't be long before more enemy soldiers make their way here. You can thank our illustrious commander, tripping over the wire for that. Are you saying this is my fault? Who fixes delicate devices by spreading their components over the floor? Everyone knows you're supposed to do your restorations in a garage. Or phone. We can no longer hope to avoid enemy contact, so we will need to fight them off as we move. We can ill afford to stay here and exhaust ourselves fighting unending waves of enemies. Be ready to head for Xianyang on a moment's notice. Hell yeah, now that's more like it. Cell, Marsh. See you in Xianyang. Just be careful, okay? You too. Wait, Shin-Kei has gone off on her own. Not a problem. We've got all the ass-kicking power we need right here. Yeah, let's carve a path right through them. Enemy hostiles confirmed. Get ready.
Alright. Now I wish that I had, used Karna's Noble Phantasm instead. Because now we're fighting 2 riders and an archer. God dang it. I wasn't expecting him to actually, switch it up and screw me over. I honestly should have expected that. I really should have. Whatever. Wasabi shot. I should still do a decent amount of damage to all 3 of them. Yep, it did. 8 turns in though, that kinda sucks. No, Okita Urita! Evasion! Won't do anything because she still has burn. Well. Would you let me tap on Soldier A, dang it. Come on, Karna, please get crits. Get crits, please. No! Oh, oh! Hey, she survived! Hallelujah! Or will she survive again? Probably not. Yeah, she ain't surviving again. Karna, come on! Oh, come on! She survived till the very end. God damn it. Damn it, Karna. Tamaba no Mae wouldn't have screwed that up. That's not your fault. It's mine. It's always my fault, isn't it? God damn it. I should have just had Karna do his Noble Phantasm when we were fighting 3 archers in the second wave. God damn it. Oh well. That is now section 13 done, or sector 13, whatever it's called.
The near future revealed itself before him. He could feel the looming threat of war draw near, slowly but surely from beyond the peaceful city. He could see the palace's defenses growing more robust by the day. Even without visiting a Pong palace for himself, his predictive calculations warned him of the inevitable conflict to come, and its inescapable result. Xianyang was going to fall.
Even knowing that, you would still tell me not to take up arms.
Defending Xianyang is no longer your job.
But the real problem was the future that followed. Usually he could learn small details about the future he saw, even if he couldn't always make sense of them. But now he couldn't see anything at all, not even a vague fragment of a future possibility. It was as though several years from now, this very world would no longer even exist.
That is how it should be.
You.
Your ability to see the future has toyed with you for too long. No one should have to carry responsibility for history on their shoulders as you have. You have long since earned the right to lay down that burden.
You mourn my fate so deeply, rather the fate of the Xianyang who paved the way for this Liu Bang to follow. My place is the Empire and is not one of peace. Seeing in the manner in which his body has been optimized for warfare should make that clear. Yes, I was originally designed to be a civil servant, but my ability to see the near future proved to be most useful on the battlefield. When Xianyang had only just united all of China, there were still 4 nations in need of being brought to heel. I traveled to Europe, Africa, the New World, every land under the sun, all to make them part of Xianyang's territory. I must have shed more blood in the course of that conquest than this other Xianyang who was known as the Hegemon King of Western Chu.
But here, your conquests were rightly held in high esteem, and the Empire valued you accordingly. However, in popular history, your reputation was horrific.
Well, that is understandable. It made sense that history would view him as a horrible, bloodthirsty monster. History is a collective recollection of humanity, so it is only natural for them to view an inhuman machine in such terms. If such a device were to be mistaken for human and its deeds recorded as such, it is no surprise that they would be feared.
No, not one person in all of hip-hop human history would ever truly understood why you did what you did.
You're wrong about that, you. I know for a fact that there was one person who understood the Hegemon King of Western Chu, your Xianyang. You were the one who just told me of this other version of myself. Surely you must have understood him.
Lord Xianyang.
Ah, now I see. At long last, he saw he had been overlooking something so terribly obvious. By always casting his gaze to the distant horizon, he had missed what was right there in front of him. There was another person there in the same time and place as Xianyang, another who looked human yet was feared and despised as inhuman. Just as Xianyang was feared and despised for quelling all threats to the Empire. This immortal Zenren must have never known either understanding or acceptance. So that is why you have wandered for so long in search of me. How unspeakably tragic.
It is all in the past now. It is no more than a fleeting dream. There is no sense looking back.
From Xiangyu's perspective, she was not one to view with suspicion, but wonder. There was neither fear nor hatred in his gaze. If anything, her way of life was something to aspire to. Something beautiful to behold. This insight was only one he could have, and only because he was not human. To humans with short lives and limited perception, she must have seemed as terrible as a demon king. But as a pair so far removed from humanity, Xianyang and Yume Ren could find solace with each other. Indeed, each was the other's perfect companion. So the Xianyang in pop human history died, leaving you alone.
There was nothing either of us could do. You had a duty to fulfill, and I was given eternal life.
And yet, with his ability to see the future, Xianyang must have known what awaited you in his absence. He must have known she would wander for an eternity, and the hardship she would suffer in solitude. I see. Then I must have grieved for you. When Dapple runs no more, what can I do? Ah, my you, what will your fate be? Oh boy. Still surprised that Akuta Hinako was actually Yume Ren. I still did not see that coming. Hey, back to Corp Dawn, alright. Here we are. Xianyang. Oh, good lord, Sector 14 was one of the ones that was 14. Alright, so I'm gonna do half of this. And then I'll end the episode. Possibly. We're fighting an assassin. And I think I know who it is. It's that old man, whose name I will not mention because it has not been mentioned yet. And I shall not spoil any such thing at all. Though I really hate fighting assassins because I never truly really know who I'm fighting. I mean, I never really have anyone I could actually kick their asses with. Section 14, Battle at Xianyang.
That must be Xianyang. Fofo. I knew it had to be a hell of a place from the images we kept at a distance, but seeing it in person... It is quite a peculiar city, if indeed a city it can be called. Well, what would you call it? Look how preposterous it is. My concern lies in whether it fulfills the function we typically associate with cities. Those things packed around its perimeter must be the rockets King Xianyang uses to distribute the benefactions. The Emperor's gotta have more than enough here to cover the entire planet. I guess this explains how Xianyang could rule the whole world with just one city. That stadium-looking thing in the center would seem to be the city's central hub. So far as I can tell from here, there does not appear to be anything in the way of the residential buildings. Then does that mean nobody lives in the city? That's the key question, isn't it? At least that would be what determines whether or not the city is in the sense we usually think of them. Even if there are people living here, I have a suspicion it's far fewer than in our own cities. Given that even this world's soldiers are robots, I have a hard time believing there is any particular need for a human labor force. There does seem to be a deal of activity taking place, though it is doubtful the city is totally uninhabited. I think you'll find it faster to just go in and take a look for yourself. Shouldn't take long for even you lot to figure out what the culture here is like. Not that they'll be opening the gate and welcoming you with open arms anytime soon, of course. Fofo. I'm seeing new hostiles making their way toward us, but... Indeed, these are human, not automatons. That's the Royal Guard of Xianyang, the elite soldiers assigned to protect the Emperor even in times of peace, without ever being put to sleep in Mount Lee. Oh, and just so you know, they are far, far cry from the supervisors you fought back on that farm.
Hey, Imperial Guards. Do they really think they can take us out, though? Do they really think that's actually a possibility? Because if so, that's kind of sad. Okay. Now do this. This. Amitabha, Amitabha, heavens are home. I don't think Kiara has enough damage to take them all out, but at least she has enough to bring them down close enough. Yeah, I'm always saying her noble phantasm wrong. I already know that. Amitabha. That is that. Nice crit. Oh, that was turn 2 of our damage increaser. Oh boy. Not too good, man. Not too good.
God dang it. Yoda, why? Do I have you max bowed? Because if I don't, then that might be why you just didn't take that one out. God dang it. Get some more crit stars going. Alright, 18 crit stars, not bad. Now this is a fighting field that I enjoy. One where Octa can just blast every single enemy and I don't need to have a care in the world about believing in her strength. Especially when she has Kiara to lower down their defense. Second, Mukir Sandan. Bye bye. If not, you're at least very, very close to defeat. Nice. Ooh, so close. Victory is ours. That is 1 of 14 done, and we're at 1 hour right now in terms of recording. So with me cutting out a tiny bit of fights, that's about maybe 57 minutes? 56? Actually, have I cut out a fight? I don't think I have. Yeah, I might. Hey, we're fighting more assassins. Alright. Let's go. You defeated the enemy troops. Well, now that the enemy's shedding real blood to win, we know they're finally taking us seriously. Well, sure, now that we're this close, it's no wonder they decided to put out all the stops. Alright, one more gate will be inside Xianyang proper. Stay sharp, everyone. Huh. Damn. All this fighting's even starting to wear me out. We have still succeeded. We can now enter the city. Do keep your guard up. I expect we will encounter even greater resistance soon. Oh, we will. By the way, we're fighting a Lancer and riders now. This is Xianyang. There do appear to be people living here, but I never expected this. Are they playing? They're all painting pictures, singing songs, dancing. What the hell? They don't even know there's a freaking war going on out in their front yards. Now it seems we have automaton soldiers to deal with. Or perhaps not. They do not seem to be particularly interested in us. It looks like they're telling the residents to evacuate. Hey, get out of my way! I need to finish this painting for most glorious and majestic Heavenly Emperor. His colors are sure to delight the Emperor's senses. And I need to sing this song about the glorious Emperor's greatest accomplishments. This melody is fit even for the Emperor's divine ears. And this is what gives our lives meaning. Why would you have us leave? Be reasonable. Remember, each and every one of your lives is truly precious to the Emperor. We can't risk putting your lives in danger. Now leave. You will be able to return soon enough. But I haven't finished my picture. And I haven't finished my sculpture. Heartbreaking, isn't it? The only thing they have to their names is a single bed in the basement. When they're not sleeping, they're working their fingers to the bone on monuments and murals that are 100 times more magnificent than anything they'll ever own. I hesitate to call them artists, but... is this some kind of bad joke? The only subject is Kishi Wang. That's not art, but not by a damn sight. Entertaining each other has been a key aspect of culture, as long as people have existed. But here, the only true person, which is to say, the sole audience for their entertainment, is Kishi Wang, and Kishi Wang alone. That's why the Emperor is the only subject of all the art these people create. Those who are deemed to have creative talent are gathered from countries all around the world, brought here to spend their lives creating art directly beneath the Epong Palace.
That would mean artists who wish to entertain the masses. Like Shakespeare, and artists who pursued the truth of human condition, like Anderson, would never ever even be born here. Here, the very premise of culture itself could not be more different from that of pop human history. Right you are. Certainly, Xianyang loves the people of the Empire, much like an owner loves their pets. In this history, all of mankind's vile arrogance is concentrated in Xianyang. And all that remains are these lifeless, worthless excuses for pets. This whole city is basically nothing more than a giant cat cafe, only with primates instead of felines. Though, as I've said many times before, I despise humans, but that doesn't mean I enjoy seeing them as livestock. Humans are supposed to be selfish and arrogant, following their desires wherever they take them. This spectacle where they sing the praises of life without any real worries is an affront to us beasts. Hey, she's glaring at us, something fierce.
If we don't attack first, then we will have the advantage. Are you sure you wish to hold back, Master? Let's wait for them to finish their evacuation.
I'm surprised. I thought for sure you would ambush us while we had our hands full with the evacuation.
True. This is in many respects an invasion. Our ideas of what this world should be could not possibly be more different. But we are not here to massacre your people, even if our actions ultimately lead to them ceasing to exist.
Obviously, getting these people to safety is your top priority. But you know just as well as I do that Xianyang would order you to kill them if there was even the slightest hint of suspicion that they were infected. Is that really a leader worth obeying? Yeah, you saw what that prick was willing to do to those supposedly treasured citizens. Yes, I did. My own hometown was once destroyed by a falling star just like that.
I beg your pardon.
Xianyang.
Oh, Jesus.
Xianyang seduced my neighbors into thinking they could lead better lives. They founded their own nation. Once the Emperor determined they were no longer willing to obey, Xianyang made the decision to drop the star upon their village, wiping them all out. And did Xianyang do anything to help them? No. He abandoned them without a second thought and wasted no time inciting people in another village to make up for the soldiers he had lost. I have nothing but pity for the people who were led astray by his empty promises. They were driven to their deaths all because they were deceived into believing such a charlatan could bring them happiness and deluded about another way of life. None of you could know what a tragedy it is for the people of this land to be robbed of their tranquility. Had it been possible, I would have been just as happy never have taken up the spear. All I ever wanted was to live with my family, tilling our land in peace. Xianyang. The peace we enjoy now is only made possible by keeping people's worst tendencies dormant. That is the great feat, the blessing that most glorious and majestic Heavenly Emperor brought to the world. I will never forgive you for trying to rouse the people from that slumber. Now repent for your selfish misdeeds. This white-ash spear pierces your throats.
Alright, fatal battle, 2 of 2. Xianyang. I didn't want to actually have to fight her, but sadly we do. In which case, you know what I gotta do to her right now and her puppets. I first gotta blast her puppets out of here. And then Musashi's gotta come in with a Noble Phantasm to take out the rest of her HP. Well, the first break bar, that is. I'm not gonna use her ability, though.
Second, Mukyu Sandan, 655 rings, Kurikata Divine Blade.
Or something Daiten show, I don't remember which. Alright, there goes her allies. That did absolutely nothing to her. Holy crap. Ishana Daiten show, okay. Oh, alright. First break bar gone. And we actually have to fight to the end. God dang it. Hey, can we get Musashi all... Ah, oh, god dang it. Man, really? We were only able to get 2 of Musashi? Really? Well, that kind of sucks. Okay, what are your abilities? Anything I need to look out for? If you would actually, you know, work? Why aren't you? Oh. I swear I've played this game for a really long time. I should know this. Decreases a single enemy's crit strength when attacked. Recovers all allies' HP when critically attacked. No recovery for anyone with 0 HP. Okay, so as long as she gets crit, then she'll heal. She has no allies to heal though, so it's fine. Do this. This and this. Raver, you can do this. You can survive. Here, I'll even heal you. Let's also put evasion onto Musashi. Bop, bop, bop. Don't know why I did that. I should have did Waver's ability. Getting him as Noble Phantasm kind of helped. I still have yet to get a single freaking chain from Musashi that would actually help me out. This blows. Attack Musashi! Alright, invincible! Remove all of the debuffs on you. Still no chain from Musashi. What the heck, man? This blows completely. And now, if she's a single target Lancer, then that'll help a lot. Attack Musashi. Never mind, you don't actually use a Noble Phantasm in this fight. Alrighty then. That helps me out. Oh look, Waver gets taken out and then Musashi finally can attack multiple times. That's kind of BS, to be honest. Bop, bop, bop. Go, go, Musashi! Take Xianyang you out! Yeah, yeah! Ishana! Dai Tensho! GG, 10 turns. I thought it would honestly either go faster or take a bit longer than this. Highly surprised. The enemy's on the ropes. We're almost there. No, I doubt this will be the end of it. They are very much in this for the long haul. Lady Xianyang Yu, the Royal Guard has arrived to the city. What would you have us do? The Royal Guard? If you're here, then who's protecting Yapong Palace? Heavenly Emperor said we were no longer needed there. The Emperor ordered us to hold this line of defense for the sake of our nation. Your Imperial Majesty. Please, stop this Xianyang Yu. You're surely a warrior of your caliber must know when she is outmatched. Tell me, those of you who claim to be from far beyond history, why do you threaten our world? Because this history should never have happened. It's what we must do to save our own world. So you want to set the world right? That's all you Confucians ever say. How should the world be then? What is this proper world of yours like? How does your world function when everyone has their own idea of how things should be, while denying all others? How many people lose their lives to the ravages of war each and every day? How many innocent lives end in senseless tragedy? Has all your bloodshed led to even one good thing in your world, or just to be an excuse for the next war? We fought hard for a world without war, a world where peace could truly endure forever. My husband, my brothers, all of them gave their lives while fighting to make that dream a reality. We, the people of this empire, had to build this world on their corpses. The peace this land now enjoys was paid for the blood of soldiers who will never be granted respite to Mount Lee. I don't know why I had such trouble reading that. And so I will defend it at all costs. I will not let your flowery words and false promises lead me astray. I believe in our way of life and the happiness we find so hard to obtain. I don't need any other countries. I don't need any other versions of myself. Allow me to demonstrate for you that this is other me of you speak of, and I are nothing alike at all. Alright. Second, Mukyu Sandan. Ishana Daitensho. Much easier to say, but when it's not actually saying Ishana Daitensho on her ability, I always tend to forget what the heck it's actually called. Bye bye. Break bar number 1. Oh dang, she now increases her own damage. I don't like that. She must be really pissed now to be able to do that. Hey, she's got bust her down. Please, Musashi, before your buff goes away, get a full change. I did not mean Okita Orita. God dang it, man. Well, this, and then this. Let's just try to get Musashi's Noble Phantasm up again, I guess. Okay, so every time she attacks, she lowers everyone's freaking defenses. That's kind of annoying. On returning formation. Second, Mukyu Sandan. Might as well lower her buster again. Hey, she was stunned as well, alright. I love it. Anything to help us get closer to victory. Yes! She actually did it! Alright! Hallelujah! It's a miracle! Go, catch Musashi! Bring it down under 100,000, please. Hey, you brought her under 60,000. All right. Oh no, she gave herself a Noble Phantasm. Okay, apparently she doesn't have Noble Phantasm at all. That's highly surprising. Oh wait, no, she's not actually a servant. That's why she doesn't have a Noble Phantasm. She was resurrected. Well, she was awakened. So she doesn't actually have a Noble Phantasm to speak of. She just has a massive damage boost when she uses it. Makes sense. Bye bye. Hey, we won in another 10 turns. All right. That was perfectly planned. Oh no. Did we kill her?
Another mountain of corpses. Another ocean of blood. Every time someone waves a flag of so-called progress, that is all I ever see. I had hoped to never see this again. I wish I could have just stayed a monthly frozen in slumber. Xianyang, you. Your pop in history terrifies me. A world truly achieved lasting peace. It should have been the one to survive. But now it will be just another corpse you tread across on the way to your destination. Tell me, what sort of bloody future do you see past the mountain of bodies that you are piling up? I guess there was no point in asking you that. The only one with that answer is the Emperor. In the end, all I ever did to bring about peace was take up my spear. Come on, Cell. Just keep moving, don't worry about her. But you don't have the time or the energy to spare on her. Remember what it is you gotta do. Let's keep moving, Master. If we're going to find out King Xianyang's true intentions, why the Emperor rules this last belt is history in this way, then our only choice is to get a real audience. Foe.
Xianyang, you no.
So the enemy has made their way into Xianyang.
I can't believe it.
Then it is time for us to face Chaldea. This is not the end. They can never hope to conquer the Empire without first conquering us. Meanwhile, you need to serve as our advisors no longer. Xianyang Yu has already given everything she has. So as of this moment, we are relieving both of you of duties. You have served us well.
Your Imperial Majesty.
I'm so sorry I couldn't win this battle for you. Your Imperial Majesty, I will atone for this with my life. Stop that, Hanjin. Your loss in this battle demonstrates your loyalty toward us admirably.
Well, what do you mean?
Tell us, Hanjin, if we had ordered you to crush Chaldea, even if it meant destroying all of Xianyang, surely you could have come up with at least a dozen viable plans. If you had been willing to stop at nothing, even the destruction of our nation, in order to secure victory, then you would certainly have prevailed. Are we wrong? And yet, there was a line you would not cross. That was your limit as a general. Be honest, did you not dream about devising strategies that would have rocked this nation to its core?
I don't think that would be a path I'd want to go down. I mean, there's a good chance I still might have ended up going down it eventually, but still.
Belated though it may be, we cannot help but feel a bit sorry for you. If you had ended up serving a different lord, you may have achieved even greater glory and recognition.
Oh, I don't know about that. That way sounds like it would end in a pretty painful death.
What, Hanjin?
Well, I guess I'll be taking my leave then. You don't mind if I go by just plain old Hanjin rather than General of the Empire from now on, do you?
We do not. Captain, would you keep an eye on him in his final moments as one last favor to us?
If that is what you wish, Your Imperial Majesty, then you are certain of this.
We are. Worry not, we have this well in hand.
Very well then. If you'll excuse me and if I may, Your Imperial Majesty, I hope you can make the most of this opportunity.
Oh yes, we expect we will finally have an opportunity to cut loose, as they say, for the first time in a very long time. All right, everyone else is gone. If you have any manners at all, show yourself.
Ho ho! Hey, is that the end of Sector 14? I wasn't paying attention. It was going by actually quickly. It was, right? Because we just got the same quest for it? Yep. So, okay, Sector 15 has 3. There are no battles. Technically speaking, I could do the no battle one for 15 and make the next episode slightly shorter than others, while making this one slightly a little bit longer. I'm gonna do that. I might regret it. No. Anything to make the next episode, which is the final episode of Lost Spell 3, shorter, it's fine. Well, now, it would appear our suspicions about that strange Spiritron signal we detected were warranted. We take it your servant creatures are capable of moving about in your spirit forms then. And you sent your bodyguards away anyway. As a great emperor gone senile and old age. Our scans did not detect any explosives. The closest thing to a weapon you appear to bear is that dagger. Tell us, how exactly do you plan to damage our holy vessel with that? I figured as long as I got close enough, the rest would work itself out. I wouldn't be an assassin if I didn't have at least that much resolve. Assassin, ah yes, we vaguely recall seeing you somewhere before. Oh, of course, this must be one of those alternate histories, how very strange. What you're saying, you forgot what I looked like up until now. We have been governing this world for 2,200 years and 63 years. Just how many attempts do you think were made on our life? Even we cannot count all the times we have been threatened for the secret to our immortality alone. Did you truly think that you were our sworn enemy? That you were somehow special among all the other would-be assassins? Well, we will say that when you came along, we were still looking for immortality in all the wrong places. Thinking back on it now, I believe you may have even done us a favor by inadvertently putting us on the right track. We should consider rewarding you for that. Oh yeah, so what, you're gonna give me a medal or something? Now that you and your companions have made it all the way to Xianyang, we will honor you with a personal condemnation of your strange history. Wait, you're gonna lecture me now. Papa, human history, what a pretentious name. You aware your arrogance in believing that yours is the only true course of events on your sleeve. In spite of this arrogance, you behave as if your actions are dictated by morality. Thus, we must convince you beyond all doubt of which our world is truly proper, as you would call it. Morality. Oh, so now you're going to tell me that this is the good, just moral world. Where you hold out power, where you don't even let the tiniest seed of knowledge take root, where you casually slaughter your citizens the instant they can inconvenience you. You call that a good moral world? Absolutely. What more glorious purpose could there be for the human race? You don't think of anyone anywhere as humans except yourself. You are quite correct. By concentrating this land's bounty on a single point, we have become the ultimate human. Has any one individual ever ascended to such heights in your so-called proper human history? Behold our great wall encircling the sky. Behold the great harvest produced by the land. Who else could ever boast such greatness? Humans in groups could not accomplish anything. They are shackled by discord, by conflict, by contradictions. So there will be no humans, no groups. A Zenren, a true human, shall have total reign over heaven and earth, and unite the species. A Zenren, don't make me laugh. You call this bloated mechanical monstrosity of a body human. You believe the only human body is one of flesh and blood. That one status as a person is contingent on whether they have 2 eyes, 4 limbs, 10 fingers. Utter drivel. The true measure of a human is responsibility. It lies in bearing responsibility for this world, its skies, lands, and oceans, and the lives of all who dwell within. Can those of you from pop human history choose which species will go extinct? Can you decide the amount of coal that will pollute your atmosphere? Can you prevent the polar ice caps from melting? Were you ever once successful at controlling your endless desires? We can do all of that, precisely because we are the sole arbiter of this world. Thus, we are human, for we bear all responsibility for this world on our own shoulders alone. And now you're saying this regime you've set up here has made this world complete. You really believe that? We do. Then you're a bigger fool than I thought. Being complete is just another way of saying done. This precious world of yours is no way forward. You're stuck with nowhere to go. Thanks to becoming a servant, I learned all sorts of things I could never have known in my own time. The future of humanity is all about possibility. I and those who know me as a heroic spirit have walked many distant worlds. You said to look at your great wall in the sky, I did. All I see is a monument to your so-called eternal empire's limitations. You said you built that wall in order to defend against threats from other stars. Talk about preposterous. True, they'd have no way of building something like that in pop human history's 21st century. But if they'd had the same resources at their disposal, you bet they could Use them to explore beyond our world, not shut themselves away. Your argument reeks of sour grapes. I'll admit, we're off to a slower start. Your empire might well have succeeded in hurrying its evolution along quicker than pop human history. But I'll also bet your world's never produced anything quite like this before. Oh, a smartphone. What is this toy? If you think it's a toy, go ahead and scan it. You love analyzing stuff, right? Humph, what could be so impressive about a simple rectangle? What the? It's an entire computer, and it fits in the palm of your hand. If you shrank down that absurdly large body of yours into components small enough to fit into this casing, would you even get close to this thing's performance? Humph, but so what? We commend your efforts in packing so much functionality into a small device. But its processing power is still barely 1/1,000,000th of our own. Did I mention there are 4 billion just like it in pop human history? What? That's a personal device. Almost every human in pop human history has one. I have one. I don't really use it, but I have it. But that's absurd. It is the very height of foolishness. You hand out processing power similar to our authority to the general public. Why do something so outrageous? Without anyone mitigating their desires, it is only a matter of time until they consume every resource on the planet. If that's all you think computers are good for, you're using yourself wrong. These things aren't generally used just as computers. Originally, they were just communication devices that were gradually redesigned with computing capability. Communication. You heard me. People share their opinions, pull their thoughts, and work together to achieve a common goal. This is just one more tool to help make that happen. People have always wanted better ways to communicate. They've never stopped looking for ways to reach mutual understanding and prosperity. That's how the people know the humans in pop human history live their lives. Then you are saying every one of the people in your world is a human unto themselves. You're right about one thing. There's no end of quarrels and disagreements. I'm sure that we're a long way off from uniting everyone under shared principles and ideals. Maybe we never will. Maybe humans will drive themselves to extinction or suck the planet dry. Even so, we aren't done yet, and it's because we're still incomplete that we are always striving to go further than ever before. In our world, people are always moving forward towards something better. They're not just stuck in one dead-end world that thinks it's a utopia. What you claim to strive for is no more than a pipe dream. You have no assurance you will ever truly attain what you see. Yeah, that's right. It's a dream. It could easily fade away if we're not careful. That's why we all hope for the same thing, that humanity can reach new heights no one has ever seen. People who hold that dream become heroic spirits and answer the summons of those who share that dream. That is what servants, the executors of the counterforce, really are. We're a sort of being that you'd never think to see in your eternal regime. We see. This better world of yours resets upon nothing more than a roll of the dice, as it were, reckless, far too reckless. You balance the fate of the world on a tightrope. One misstep could destroy all. We could never permit this. Yeah, I bet you wouldn't. That's why we find ourselves at an impasse. One of us has to die so the other can carry on guiding the Earth. Is that so? Then tell us then. How do you propose to kill us with that plain ordinary dagger? Every one of Pong Palace's defensive armaments is already trained on your person. You will not get one step out the door before you are simply disintegrated. You still don't get it, do you? Pop human history is light years ahead of you in terms of communications and data storage and access. In our world, with all its conflicts and technology, any technology can be used as a weapon, not that I'm proud of that. For example, did you know it's possible to poison a computer just by communicating with it? What? Use... in that toy... Yes, you obviously wanted to have a lofty discussion about world views and philosophy, but I'm really just here to kill you. Even if I had to goad you into scanning this phone so you'd end up downloading the virus in it. Remember, your name is Jing K. Hey, so they finally remember who she is. That's right, it's been a long 2,200 years. I'm finally going to finish this. Down goes the computer. Well done indeed. What? We commend you, Jing K. This time we will be sure to remember your name. You're the only one to make us fear for our life not once, but twice. Man, I can't believe this. I promised Elle I'd make it back and safe and everything. I knew this wasn't gonna happen. I knew I never should have pushed my luck quite so far. Maybe it's just my destiny to always choke me at the very end. You are wrong there, Jing K. Your heroic spirit's true worth lies in dying with a smile, even as you fail at what you set out to accomplish. Can I see what you actually look like? Come on, man. That's such a tease. So next up would be fighting Assassin and Rider. But with that, I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next one. We'll be doing Humanity's Whereabouts. Fighting an Assassin, Rider, and then most likely, we will be fighting the Emperor. Yes, I've said the name so many times, but I've already wiped it out of my memory. We'll be fighting them, and then we will be going into Sector 16, which I believe again is the finale. So then, we will be trying to go to Fusang Tree, which is probably actually the Tree of Emptiness, whatever the heck you want to call it. It might be, you don't know. Then we do that, we fight probably Yume Ren, I hope to god not. Maybe Zhang Yu, I hope to god not. Maybe them both together, that would suck. And then we take out the tree, we finish Lost Spell 3. It's completed. We can do all the other extra quests for Sync Warts. We could, but I won't yet. I still haven't even done any of the Lost Spell 2s. And then it'll finally be time for the gacha in New Year's, and then into the New Year's event. So until then, see you guys later.